Hey y'all, it's Alicia and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. Well, that first video should tell you everything you need to know about today because I uploaded an old video that you've already seen, yeah, it's funny. It's because I'm not feeling well. So I'm just struggling today, folks. I am struggling. Uh, Clearly I did not go to work. That's what the first video that you're supposed to see said. Woke up feeling way worse, and I figured that I would just, for once in my life, call in sick. My first time since being a professor. Do you know, my first time in all those years of teaching, I called in sick today. And that says a lot. In fact, that's what scared my husband today, because he knows I have been released from the hospital and gone straight to work. So he was shocked, and I just said, look, honey, there's something like not working in my brain. It's like hard to explain. I just don't feel like I would never touch banking today. I wouldn't use money. My brain is not functioning. And I suspect it's just flu mixed with autoimmune, but it just makes me very unsteady. So if it gets any worse, what I was saying, the first video you're supposed to see, not an old video you've already watched, that basically, if it gets any worse, then I'm going to have to go and see my doctor tomorrow. So because of that, I'm going to text a couple people as a backup for Pat's birthday. There's a small chance that if this worsens, that she'll either A, keep me or send me to the hospital, or B, something. I don't know. There's just a small risk. So just in case, what I want to do is have a backup plan for Pat's birthday, because that has to happen whether Alicia's well or not. So watch your cell phones tonight, folks. I'm going to text a couple of you. I know that at least one of you know how to use the program, so I'm going to reach out to you first. Miss Kayla, you know who you are. And Sabrina, Crafty Mom and Son also offered to help. Thank you very much. Kayla, I'm going to text you and a couple of others as backups just in case I'm not well and they send me off somewhere, or they send me off for some tests. And that way we don't lose Pat's birthday, because that would be like the worst thing that could happen, would be that Pat's birthday would get ruined. That was what I was discussing in the video, that and the fact that Ara has a live tonight at 7 p.m. 1 Standard Time and 8 p.m. New York time. So I was saying I'm going to try to catch that live, and I'm hoping you will too, because it's nice to be able to be on live. I'm not going to type very much, clearly, because clearly I can't upload a video properly. I should not be near a computer even. This is why I didn't go to work today, folks. This is exactly why. My lovely neighbors have been looking out for me. They've been making sure they brought me some fruit. They checked to see if I needed any help. The kids have offered to take the packages to the post office tomorrow, because clearly if I'm feeling like this tomorrow, I will not be well. So they offered to go with me if I'm well enough, and if I'm not, their dad's going to take them. How amazing is that? I told y'all I'm very blessed to live here. That's what the whole video was about, how fortunate I am to live in this building. Like, really fortunate. I don't know what I would do. It was like the best decision I ever made. And what Lizzie presents, she grew up in this neighborhood. She grew up a block and a half from here. And Lizzie knows what it means to live in a building like this, where they actually care. And they say, like, why isn't your mama visiting? You know, we'll look after her while you're at work. And they actually mean it. It's not like an idle offer. And I was telling you in the other video how a studio apartment here goes for $2,800 a month, folks. That's like 300 square feet or less. 250 square feet sometimes. The size of your closets. And it's like $2,800 a month. And a 1 or 2 bedroom can go anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 a month. So an apartment like this, that's a 2 bedroom, 700 square feet, would be like $4,500 to $4,800 a month. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Do a quick search online, type in Williamsburg, Brooklyn studio apartment, and you will be amazed. And what they call Williamsburg, Lizzie and I will tell you, is not Williamsburg. Now they're like trying to reach it out to like Bushwick and other places to make it look like Williamsburg. Ever since Williamsburg got listed as one of the top 4 places in the world to live, it ruined the neighborhood. It did. And thankfully I got here before that all happened, and I got adopted by this amazing building, because I couldn't afford to live here, guys. I seriously couldn't afford to live here. Like, I can't afford to pay $4,500 a month in rent. No way. So a lot of people in New York are house poor because they pay so much money. Imagine if you're paying $2,800 a month for under 300 square feet apartment. You don't have a lot left over. So we always laugh. In New York, the cutoff for co-op living is $100,000. In Florida, imagine how far $100,000 a year will take you. Wow, what a difference. $100,000 a year in Florida, and you live very well. But in New York, you're not living, because most of your money is going to your apartment. So if these kind folks in this building did not adopt me a long time ago, I don't know where I'd be living. I really don't know. I have some friends that live like a 40-minute subway ride outside in like the far ends of Brooklyn, because they're able to get a 1-bedroom for $1,500, which now has gone up also to $1,800. So they're lucky, they're never leaving, but it takes them 40 minutes to get into the city. I'm literally over the bridge, y'all. Like I'm a 7-minute subway ride into the city. So I'm really lucky. Again, Lizzie grew up here when this neighborhood was not this. When I first moved here, people thought I was crazy. They're like, are you even going to be safe getting home at night? And I didn't look, in the 70s, this was, you know, a lot rougher neighborhood. Our building tells me that they used to have to stand out front with a shotgun, and they're not kidding. In fact, how they got the building and how it became a co-op is that the landlord walked away from it. He literally like walked away from the building. He left everybody in here on their own. He like didn't pay the water bill, didn't pay for heating. He let the building fall apart, and he just walked away from the property because he didn't want to have to come here and deal with the violence. So the building took it over. And I told you about our amazing super, who we don't pay anymore, but he still does the recycling every day, and we recycle a lot. And he does the garbage every day, and he washes all the floors with Fabuloso. So like when you just open your door, it smells beautiful and fresh. He does that every day. And he cleans the elevators, and he calls for the repairs when there's a problem, and we don't even pay him anymore. So I just got really lucky. They took over the building, they fixed it, they cleaned it up, they made it amazing. And when they had one opening, I was lucky enough to get it. And there were thousands of applicants, folks. Thousands. Yeah. I just got really lucky. The best thing that ever happened to me besides marrying my husband was getting this apartment. For real. And I've always been grateful. So that last video, I was just saying like how blessed I am on a day like today, like when I'm not feeling good, and everyone's like, do you need fruit? Do you need something from the store? What can we get you? And then offering to take me from the packages to the post office. So I'm very blessed. The other thing I was telling you about was Susan Tissy Tucker's video. And I was saying, oh my goodness, guys, you have to watch her haul video. Not for the haul, because Susan is a born storyteller. Susan, every time I watch your videos and you tell a long story, I realize like you're meant to be a writer. Like the writer in me blossoms every time you do it. And today was no exception. Incognito, huh? Mm-hmm. You and I could talk about the fact that I think the people that designed that campaign have never used that product. Because why would you care about that? But girl, you had me laughing so hard I spat out my coffee. Again. Susan is like single-handedly responsible for like me making a mess in my apartment. But I also laughed because she was talking about the stockroom mess, and I thought, oh, heads would roll if you saw this place right now. Absolutely, it's still a disaster because I have not been feeling well enough today to finish tidying it. And the neighbors were like, y'all need help? Do you need help? And I'm like, no, I'll be fine. I am going to have a rough weekend, I think, of tidying up. I have a lot of grading to do. All my students handed in their work on time, and I'm very proud of them, but it means a lot of grading. And we have Pat Sweeney's birthday, so I think it's just going to be a weekend of grading, resting, trying to get better. Hopefully Pat's birthday, and yeah, just taking it easy so that I get well enough for Monday. Y'all, I do have some happy mail. Poor Elsa, the bargain hunter, she was asking me like, Leash, did you get my package? And I'm sorry, Elsa, if I didn't list it in the listing, I should have. I did get it. You're on the schedule for today, as is Miss Anna. I'm very excited. And that box from Jelly Bean was not a swap, folks. It was, in fact, a surprise for my birthday. So I do have permission to open it. I'm going to open it at some point this weekend. And I have to do a huge tallying up of all the racks of love. I have a book. I've been keeping a record of every rack that got sent out. And guys, it's so many. Some people like sent out 10 or 12 or 14. So I have to enter them. I have to figure out how I'm going to do this. But today is not the day to do that thinking because my brain isn't working. So I suspect that I will do the winner for the Racks of Love on Sunday, and then we'll launch the challenge in support of autism on Sunday also. All right, I'll just be patient with me. I'm just not functioning well. Clearly, I uploaded the wrong video. All right, take real good care of yourselves, and I will be back on later with some happy mail. Bye, y'all.